This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
One of the stereotypes I think we sometimes all carry with us is of the high school dropout. You think of the kid smoking in the bathroom that doesn't go to class, and that's not the true picture of a student who didn't complete high school.
I stopped going to high school when I almost in 12th grade. I almost finished high school, but I always start fighting with them because it was too many names and all that stuff.
I want my son to be proud of me, and I want to be a good example for him to go by. I want him to look up and say, you know, that's my mom, and I want him to be proud of me. I really do. That means a lot to me.
This program is a part of American Graduate. Let's make it happen. A public media initiative made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
I have a son. He is 2.5. He'll be 3 October 16th. I'm also 6 months pregnant right now with a little girl. While I'm here at school, my mom watches my son. She watches him from, let's see, I come here at like 6:30, so she watches him from 6:30 to 8:30, and that helps out a lot. Without her, I don't know what I would do to have somebody to babysit him. I mean, maybe daycare, but daycare, you know, at night and stuff, they don't really do that.
When someone comes in and they're interested in completing their high school diploma, they come to us without a high school diploma. We explain that there are 2 programs that are available to them. One is the High School Equivalency Program, which is under the direction of Linda Huddleston. With High School Equivalency, they go through an orientation and some pre-testing, skills testing to get a feel of where their skill level is. And from there, they're either assigned to classes to prepare to take the high school equivalency exam called HiSET, or they're referred to go ahead and move forward with testing. With the high school equivalency exam, they prepare to take that exam that is the equivalent of a high school diploma. The second option in Putnam County is the adult high school. With adult high school, when they come to us, the first thing we do is we want to get those transcripts from the school they previously attended. And from those transcripts, we evaluate it to see what credits they're lacking according to the state of Tennessee for the year they originally entered high school. And from there, we design what we call a 4-year plan. Doesn't mean it's going to take them 4 years, but it plots out the classes they've had for 9th, 10th, and what classes they need to finish that high school diploma.
The majority of students who are enrolled in adult ed, once they're tested, they're placed in 6 levels, one of 6 levels. And the students who test at a 4, 5, or 6 level, those upper level students, are more than able, if they will attend and work on the instructional piece that's recommended, they are more than able to pass it well within a year. Many of them just a few weeks. Many of them within a few weeks. If they'll just follow through with the orientation, the testing, and the process that's set in place. And in fact, if they'll follow that all the way through, their testing fee at this point can be paid for by the state. So they can literally come back to school for free. All of our services are free, all of our classes. No instructional material fees are assessed here, and they can even get the test paid for if they'll follow the process from beginning to end. And it's not that long of a process for many of them.
Just like motivation to return, the reasons they left traditional high school are also it's just a myriad of different reasons. Sometimes students moved around a lot as a child, and so when they would land at a new high school, they were in a totally different spot of their old high school. If they changed states, graduation requirements were completely different. Sometimes we hear of students who withdrew from high school because they had a trauma in their lives and had to step up and take responsibilities that were more adult for a student their age. Occasionally students started their family at a younger age, and it was too difficult to continue to attend school. And one of the stereotypes I think we sometimes all carry with us is of the high school dropout. You think of the kid smoking in the bathroom that doesn't go to class, and that's not the true picture of a student who didn't complete high school. Sometimes the students needed to learn in a different environment. Traditional brick and mortar high school just didn't fit the way that they learned. They weren't able to go at the same pace that the other 28 kids in the class could go, or they just needed to hear it a different way. And then sometimes there's just the one that didn't like school and didn't think they needed it. We're all so smart when we're 18, and then once they've been out a little while longer, they realize the necessity of coming back to finish that high school diploma.
When 7th grade and 8th grade was fine, but when I started high school, it was different because, there are more big kids and everything. And they start making fun of me because, like Mexican and all that stuff. And this always made me cry because they always tell me, go back to your country and all that stuff. And yeah, I still remember it's why it was hard for me. And I stopped going to high school when I almost in 12th grade. I almost finished high school, but I always start fighting with them because it was too many names and all that stuff. And then I quit high school in 11th grade, and then I get pregnant. And I came here to GD when I was like 18 years, and I was pregnant with my son. He's 3 years now. But I stopped coming here because I was like very sick, like pregnant stuff. And now I decided to come back again.
The student body of the adult high school varies across all ages, across all demographics. Our oldest student this year is 57 years old. We have graduated students who are in their 60s, and they come to us from all different educational backgrounds. We serve students in grades 9 through 12.
Our community, I've always felt, is very supportive of adult learners. We have a Putnam County Adult Literacy Council that supports graduates through graduation, through scholarships to post-secondary. They provide gas cards sometimes for students who are struggling to get here but are very close and who need that extra support. They even support teachers in that they do teacher recognitions periodically. All our staff's part-time, and so those little things make a difference in recognizing the value they provide to the community as well. The Herald Citizen supports the Adult Learning Center as well through adoption. So we've always been able to go out and find people who recognize the value of giving folks a second chance.
The adult high school is what's called or termed a Tennessee minimum requirement high school. We are actually a public high school recognized by the state of Tennessee. We have a school number. When students come to us, they're completing the credits that were required for their graduation year in order to earn or complete their Tennessee high school diploma. So rather than being an equivalency, they are completing what they didn't complete when they were in traditional school previously to earn a high school diploma.
Most people come back because they feel the need for a job. They're either working part-time or have no job, or they're not being paid enough at the full-time job they have, so they're working several jobs. And many times that's just not a family-sustaining wage. So they're looking for a way to make more money to better serve their family.
Definitely my kids, my son. I want him to see me. Whenever he gets older, he's gonna know that his mommy is a nurse, and he can go to school and he can tell his friends, yeah, my mom's a nurse, this is what she does for a living, not, well, my mom kind of stays at home, or she doesn't do this, or she works at McDonald's, I mean, I don't want my kids saying that. I want my son to be proud of me, and I want to be a good example for him to go by. I want him to look up and say, that's my mom, and I want him to be proud of me. I really do. That means a lot to me.
Some of the challenges our students face as adults coming back to school are very basic. One thing being transportation. They may not own a car, so they're sharing a car with someone else, asking for a ride from a family member. Or if they do have a car, sometimes the cost of gas is a problem for them to work in a budget to get back and forth to class. If they have a car, they could also have an undependable car, one that needs lots of repairs routinely. So that's an issue. We do suggest public transportation with the U-Carts van that runs in this area, but sometimes the scheduling is difficult.
I have like my friends and my stepdad and my boyfriend, my mom's support. They always tell me, you need to finish high school, your GED, you're going to have a better life. And I mean, I have all support my friends and everybody. When I came here the first time to finish GED, I used to come with my friend, but I quit coming. Now my friend, sometimes I saw my friend, in the store, and she always asks me, are you still in GED? I said, yeah. Okay, you not quit, you need to go. And now she's in college. So yeah, she told me, she said, I almost finished. She's studying for dental assistant, yeah. So she said, I'm going to have a better life. I'm going to get a lot of pay, like a lot of money. Yeah, and my stepdad, yeah, they always help me, like when I have car, they always bring me here, and they always watch my kids and all that stuff. So I'm good with support. They always help me.
Our first graduate of this school year, 2015-16 school year, he had to pass an exam, and that determined if he could graduate yet or if he needed to wait. It just came down, that was the last thing he had to do. And I got to call him and tell him he passed, he was graduated, and he said, I can finally make my dreams come true after all of this time. And he's currently in the process of enrolling in a community college in East Tennessee to go into law enforcement.
Advice for people who want to come back to school is certainly, we can provide lots of things, but if they will bring the desire, that is the major thing. If they have the desire to earn the high school equivalency diploma, they will be successful, and we can help them, support them. But they need to make sure that that's what they want to do, and see how that fits into their schedule, and begin to garner some support at home. Who will watch the kids? Can I have the car during this time? Is there some money set aside for testing? How will that work in my life? And just begin to look for support and ways to be here. And if they can do that piece, that internal desire will drive them enough to be successful once they begin the process.
I had a graduate a couple years ago, and she had been with us for years. Her mother passed away while she was attending, so she had to take some time off. She had young children in the home. She and her husband both worked full-time fast food jobs, and when she finished, that last thing she finished, she said, I can finally mark yes on that job application when it says, do you have your diploma or your GED? So, those are those things. These are life changers. This doesn't just change for that student, it's their family. And the gentleman that's attending community college, he wants to go into law enforcement. That's a positive change in his community here in Putnam County. So we have little success stories. A success story isn't always finishing the diploma, but the student who wrote the essay who said, there's no way I can write an essay, there's no way I can do my senior paper, I can't pass Algebra 2. Yes, you can, and we're here to help you to do that.
I think that for adult learners, it's crucial that they know that it's okay to mess up, and it's okay as an adult for it not to, everything to have gone just perfectly in their life. And we understand that, and we understand they have a life outside of here, but there's support there and there's opportunity. And if they come to us and they are really willing and wanting it, we will bend over backwards to help them get it. We do special appointments, we do Saturday appointments sometimes. There's really nothing that if there's a way we can help somebody, we will. So we know that it's crucial for families, and if we can impact the parent, we can impact the child at home as well. So we know that when their drive is there, our drive increases with it. So we'll be able to help them, and they can do it. I think a lot of people worry that I'll go and I just won't be able to do it. I didn't do it before. And what you've done in the past has no bearing on what you can do now.
I can't imagine a more rewarding job than to be here at the adult high school, because we have those small successes every single day. Graduation, we do a cap and gown graduation ceremony at the end of the school year, and I used to be able to sit out in the audience as a teacher, and if I teared up, it was okay. But now that I'm up on stage, I have to keep it in check. But we work one-on-one so much with our students. We really get to know them, and you know what a struggle it has been for some of them, and you know how much this means to them, that you can't help but just feel so proud for them and thankful that we're able to have this program in Putnam County. There's not a whole lot of adult high schools left in Tennessee, but we're one of the ones that are left, and with the support of school director and the school board, we're able to offer this alternative route to receiving a high school diploma for folks who thought they didn't have another option.
Well, I mean, it's what I think. I think everybody deserves second chances. Where would we all be if we had to be successful the very first time we ever tried anything? And if you can hear sometimes stories that come through, you realize that was totally out of their control. And what would I have done? I mean, I think that's what we think is what would I have done? I would have been in far worse shape than that person is. I couldn't have done school either if that had been my life. So, you know, coming back gives them just a clean slate, and we do second and third chances. You know, sometimes you need more than the second chance, and that's okay too. But we're set up really to help anybody. If they are willing, they can do it.
So I was a traditional student, graduated from high school, went straight into college, went for a full year, did well, but decided I needed a little money, so I took some time off college and worked for a while, got married, and started having children. So 20 years later, after I had homeschooled my kids for a little bit and found I really enjoyed teaching, I came back to Tennessee Tech because my girls were going into the public school system, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I went through Tech and finished the teaching program there, took my license and got my test, and started teaching in Putnam County schools, and taught in Putnam County schools for almost 20 years and loved every day of it. It was really a good experience for me.
You know, sometimes life happens. Things come up. It might be that there's not enough money to finish the degree. Maybe you get married and then need to support your family. Sometimes you just get tired of going to school. And I know that sounds silly, but sometimes that's true. You start it, but then there are other priorities that come along. In fact, sometimes it's simple things like transportation. Your car breaks down and you can't get back to campus. You know, school now is not like it was when I was in school. When I went to school, you went to classes and it was started at 8 o'clock and you finished maybe at 4 and you had some breaks in between. Well, now classes are anywhere and everywhere. Classes are virtual. You can actually attend class on your phone. You can go to the library and stick in earplugs and attend class. You can go to night classes that are offered. Or Rome State, one of the things we know, they're offering 5 Saturdays straight of a class from 8 to 12. You get your credits. So colleges are now offering different kinds of opportunities that were never around for adult learners. So there are so many ways that really those things that you think stand in your way truly do not.
One of the proudest moments, though, of my life, and I have shared this with several people, was my oldest daughter is an emergency room physician right now in Roanoke, Virginia. And one day we were talking about her motivation and drive, because that's a lot of school. And she said, well, you know, Mom, one of the reasons I knew that I could make it through med school was because I saw you go back to school. And she said, I saw you manage a household and raise us, but you thought it was important enough to go back to school. And so she said, I knew I could do that. So that really touched me because I had no idea of the impact I was having on my children by going back to school.
If you or someone you know or someone you love fit in this category of adults, 25 to 64, that have started college but haven't finished that dream, then what should they do? Well, so here are the options. You may read about us in the newspaper. You may hear about us on the radio. You may be able to go to an event that we're sponsoring. We are working with the Upper Cumberland Human Resource Agency. We are working through Goodwill, and we actually have advisors here within the Upper Cumberland who are meeting with anyone who's interested. So there are really a number of ways that you can contact us. One way you can contact us is to go onto our website, ucreconnect.com, And on that, it helps you find ways that you can explore. Maybe you're thinking of changing careers. You know, when we get out of high school and we go straight to college, we think we want to do one thing, and then that changes over time. So we can help you explore new possible careers.
I will say that as we have had our launch events and met our Upper Cumberland Reconnectors, they're coming back for all kinds of reasons. We have met ladies who feel like that they need that associate's degree to get promotion, that employers, whereas they value experience, still need to have that degree to push you over the line or to move you to the front of the line. Other people just want a new job. They want to retool. They want to do something different. And with the TCAT, right now, with Tennessee paying tuition for TCAT, there are so many skills that we can all go back to and pick up at no charge, which is very exciting. I find that very exciting.
We serve 14 counties of the Upper Cumberland. We are a huge part of making sure that we are focusing on economic development. One of the keys that we know is that the higher the education of the parent, the greater chance, in fact, 3 times greater chance for a child to have a post-secondary degree if one of their parents do. And even though we talk about this as an educational initiative, truly it is more about bringing jobs to the Upper Cumberland.
Going back to school can be overwhelming, but the first step is the hardest. And then it kind of falls into place. Don't overwhelm yourself. Take those small steps. But you're going to get acquainted with other people who have come back to school, and they're going to encourage you. They're going to tell you how they've managed childcare and how they've managed transportation. And we are finding lots of programs at the TCATs and the community colleges and at Tennessee Tech are really trying to work with adult learners to provide for them classes at appropriate times at the end of a work day, or even a Saturday class, or one evening a week instead of 3 nights a week. Time management is difficult, but if you start small and you talk to your family about it before you go, get some support from your family. If your children and your husband or wife or significant other is encouraging you and willing to make some sacrifices, because there are sacrifices involved. You may not make every soccer game, and you may have to pick up KFC for dinner instead of having that home-cooked meal. But it's well worth it in the end.
The Upper Cumberland, Tennessee Reconnect Community is the first of 3 chosen across the state. We are part of the Governor's Drive to 55 initiative, and that is for the next 10 years. By 2025, 55% of the adults in the state of Tennessee will have a certificate, a diploma, or a degree from a 2 or 4-year university.
Because we're finding, and I think it's probably to be expected, that adults that are going back to school they're already part of this community. They love the Upper Cumberland. They don't want to relocate. It's not like when you're a traditional student and you're graduating looking to see the world. They've put down roots and they want to stay here. So looking at the jobs that are available and tooling for those jobs, I think is a very valuable thing that we can offer them.
One of the key reasons that we were able to receive this grant is that there are over 34,000 adults in the Upper Cumberland who fit in this category of having some college but not having credits. So that's what our focus is all about, trying to find those folks, helping them overcome any barriers that they have toward going back to school. On our website, you'll notice our partner institutions. Those are the ones that actually are physically within our area. For example, Tennessee Tech University is the university in the Upper Cumberland. But then we have TCATs, Tennessee College of Applied Technologies. Those used to be called technical schools. Fairly fabulous, wonderful schools that are offering an abundance things I didn't even know they were offering. In Crossville, they build LEED certified homes in their trades division. All kinds of things that are going on across the entire Upper Cumberland in TCATS, Hartsville, Crossville, McMinnville, Livingston, and people are walking out the door and jobs are waiting on them. So that's another piece that we're connected with, as well as all of our community colleges. Vol State, Motlow State, Roane State, those are the three main ones. But you will also find partnered with us some other schools, like at the Western Governors University. That is a complete online college that is part that Governor Haslam has linked Tennessee to. In fact, there's a WGU Tennessee site you'll find linked to us.
It's a wonderful time to be a Tennessean. I'm very proud of the state of Tennessee that we are offering this and recognizing that education improves the quality of life as far as health, as far as jobs, as just on a happiness scale. And in the Upper Cumberland, I am so proud to see us doing that because we have such a great community to live in.
As we bring more jobs to the Upper Cumberland and people make more money, they spend more money, and the quality of life for our children, for our adults in the Upper Cumberland, our businesses, all of that improves.
This program is a part of American Graduate. Let's make it happen. A public media initiative made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.